The skills we will be focusing on throughout our skills training program are key offensive fundamentals to the game of basketball. The first skill is passing. The second skill is dribbling. Through the use of a 5-week program, a novice learner is expected to develop the skills of a basketball pass and the basketball dribble. The skills training program implements the use of program variability through the use of blocked and random practice. Blocked practice is used so the learner is able to rehearse the same skill repetitively until there is an improvement in the underlying movement pattern. It is also beneficial for the learner to gain confidence, which will assist with motivation. Random practice is then introduced, as it tests the learner's cognitive and motor systems to solve the interference of the task. Random practice allows for greater retention and skill transfer. The learner will first be shown the two skills as a whole, and then they will be shown the different phases that make up each skill. The use of demonstration and other visual imagery will help the learner develop mental practice skills. This will involve the learner to understand how to perform the movement skill during the cognitive phase. Verbal cues and instructions will also be used to emphasize the key points of the movement demonstrated. During practice and training sessions, feedback will be given to the learner in the form of augmented feedback of knowledge of performance. Feedback will assist the learner and allow them to understand what they may need to fix the movement. The feedback will be lessened as the weeks increase so the learner does not become feedback dependent, which may be detrimental to learning. The basketball pass and the basketball dribble are classified as open skills, as they require the performer to act accordingly to the actions of the skill and the changing environment. According to Gentile's taxonomy of motor skills table, dribbling and passing are classified as 4D motor skills. To prepare the novice learner for the skills of dribbling and passing, there are 6 distinct areas that need to be developed. These are agility, balance, coordination, power, reaction time, and speed. When looking at the technique analysis of a basketball chest pass, the hands are placed on either side of the ball with the fingers separated evenly and the thumbs placed behind the ball facing downwards. Step into the pass with the knees bent and a clear follow through towards the receiving target. Extend the arms fully while in the pushing phase of the pass. The thumbs should be pointing downwards during the follow through phase of the pass. When looking at the technique analysis of a basketball control dribble, it's important to touch the ball with the fingertips, not the palm of the hand. Position the body with a low stance and a low center of gravity. Push the ball towards the floor in a downward motion. Keep the hand performing the dribble on top of the ball at all times. Keep the ball low to the ground and keep the eyes focused ahead rather than on the ball itself. The aim of the first week is for the learner to understand the movement patterns and concepts of the control dribble and chest pass. Emphasis is placed on hand positioning in both skills, specifically with the favourable hand. In week 1, the learner needs to understand that the key teaching points can be altered to produce a different outcome. The learner should be able to pass the ball to different areas on the court effectively, from both short and long distances. The learner should be developing the pushing acceleration on the ball and improving their hand-eye coordination. The drills for week 1 include stationary control dribbling, dribbling while walking, throwing to a partner, and throwing to a target. The learner will be completing a pre-training test. The pre-training test will require the learner to perform 30 chest passes to a set target located 5 meters away from the learner. The learner will also be required to dribble the ball 30 times on the preferred hand, demonstrating the correct technique. During week 1, the learner should be in the cognitive stage of learning, where the learner attempts to understand how to perform the movement skill during the cognitive phase. In week 2, the learner's focus will be on performing both skills with a correct analysed technique. The learner will aim to develop key components such as aim, coordination, balance, and speed. The learner will be introducing the unfavourable hand when dribbling and will be ensuring foot placement is correct when passing the ball. In terms of training for week 2, the learner will be increasing the speed of both skills and focusing on balance during the movement of the skill. The drills include passing to a target located at a further distance away and dribbling the ball with both hands while in motion. In week 3 of the skills training program, the focus will be on adding variation to the different types of passes that are used in a typical game of basketball, such as the bounce pass and the overhead pass. By introducing the chest pass in weeks 1 and 2, the learner was able to effectively build the foundations of the passing skill. Therefore, by introducing a wider variation of passes, the level of difficulty will be increased, which will help engage the learner. Dribbling at a faster tempo will also be required. In terms of the training, the learner will be asked to pass to a target using the different variations of the basketball pass. He will be developing speed of dribbling with both hands while in a jogging motion and dribbling whilst weaving around cones. During week 3, the learner should be at the associative stage of learning, where the learner is able to modify and/or adopt the movement pattern required during the intermediate stage. In week 4 of the skills training program, the learner should be able to pass to a moving target and pass while in motion. Dribbling at a running tempo should also be implemented. In terms of training, the learner should be able to dribble while alternating hands during motion and increase passing accuracy by changing the difficulty of the targets. The drills for week 4 include dribbling around cones while running and using peripheral vision when passing the ball to another person. In week 5, the final week of the skills training program, the learner should be aiming to perform all aspects of the skills with proficiency. In terms of training, a small game simulation will be played to incorporate all components of the passing and dribbling skills. The technique for both skills should be 80 to 90% accurate. The drills for week 5 include dribbling while throwing and catching a tennis ball and passing the ball with added pressure. In week 5 of the skills training program, the learner should be in stage 3, the autonomous stage of learning. During the autonomous stage of learning, the movement execution becomes more automatic and the attention can be directed elsewhere. After the conclusion of the 5-week skills training program, the learner will perform post-program testing, which will involve 5-meter target accuracy, dribbling speed, a retention test and a transfer test. The retention test will require the learner to demonstrate dribbling speed in motion through cones and passing to a target at the end of the cones. Qualitative and quantitative measures will be taken. The retention test will be progressed into a transfer test by adding in defenders and a number of external distractions.